Many often ask us if we were to build the perfect on and off-road capable vehicle that offered us all around great performance, is decently economical, durable, and customizable, which vehicle would we choose to build and how would we build it? Hey guys, Josh from TrailBuilt. There are a lot of great vehicle platforms out there on the market today that we could choose from to build our perfect trail rig with. Multiple generations of Toyota 4Runners, Tacomas, Land Cruisers, Jeep Wranglers, Cherokees, Grand Cherokees, Canyons, Colorados, and I could keep listing vehicles for days. But one of them has been a pinnacle vehicle in the off-roading world since off-roading even became a thing, and that's the Jeep Wrangler. Although way back in the day, they were known as Willys, and then they were CJs for civilian Jeep, and it wasn't until the mid to late 80s that the Jeep CJ received the Wrangler name and has remained the primary vehicle choice of avid off-road enthusiasts to this day. Which brings us to the question of, what is the generation and trim level of Wrangler we would build here at TrailBuilt? Hypothetically speaking, of course. Now, let me preface this by saying that none of us here at TrailBuilt are millionaires by any means, and all of us work more for the love of what we do than the money.
It's not a liquid!
But anyways, here's what our perfect, or at least a representation of what we would build, so that way if you guys weren't exactly sure on which route you wanted to go with, well, maybe this video might help you out with a few ideas. Our platform would start with a 2018 and a half or newer 4-door Wrangler JLU Sport, or even a Sport S. We would look around the country for the cheapest one available that, for the most part, was left alone and is as close to stock as possible. We'd also make sure it had the 3.6 liter V6 and the 8-speed automatic transmission, even if it had higher miles, as long as it wasn't all beat to crap. My first instinct was to go with like a 2015 to a 2018 JKU, but with all of the improvements to the JLs over the JKs and the fact that they're already 4 years old, made me think a JLU isn't going to cost all that much more to purchase than a JKU. As far as upgrading the Jeep goes, we're gonna start with the tire and wheel package. And because we're hypothetically building this JLU as a do-it-all on an off-road machine, I don't want to go with too big of a tire or too small of a tire either. And what does that even mean, right? Tire sizes can be different for everyone depending on what you're going to use your Jeep for. But because we have a JLU with an 8-speed electronically controlled transmission and more clearance in the fenders compared to the JKs, we've decided to go with 37-inch tall by 12.5-inch wide Mickey Thompson Baja Boss all-terrains that offer really great all-around on and off-road performance because they have their asymmetrical tread design. Then we'll mount the tires on 17 by 8.5-inch wheels with a -6mm offset to ensure enough clearance in between the tire and the suspension components. For the wheels, we wanted the lightest DOT-compliant beadlock available on the market today and isn't going to bankrupt us, so we're going to go with the Icon Alloys Rebound Pros with their proprietary inner beadlocking system. Total package price, wheels and tires for a set of 5 on our website at TrailBuilt equals $4,200, not including the tax of your state, of course. And guys, that price includes the TPMS sensors, the lug nuts. It also includes free mounting and balancing, as well as free shipping to you guys if you live in any state in the lower 48. And that's not a bad deal for a set of 37-inch tires mounted on beadlocks shipped to your door. Next is our suspension system. And for this, we wanted to go with an all-inclusive system that includes everything you're going to need so that way you can bolt it on one day and go hit the trails the next. Ain't gonna lie, guys, this one was a tough choice. We carry over a dozen brands of suspension systems for the Jeep Wranglers, and what it really came down to is what's the best all-performing, all-inclusive system in the 3.5-inch to 4-inch lift range that's going to be great for on and off-road performance and for getting up over any obstacles on the trails. And I gotta say that the Rock Crawler kit nailed it with their 3.5-inch X Factor Stage 1 system. First off, it comes with everything you're gonna need in this mid-arm kit, including their proprietary RRD stem loop emulsion remote reservoir shocks with 12 inches of travel. Another great feature is that instead of the coil springs being just a single or even a dual rate coil, Rockcrawler has developed a triple rate coil spring to optimize all aspects of your suspension's cycling for both high speeds on the highway or trail and crawl speeds for on the rocks. Plus, everything on this kit is adjustable and even allows you to upgrade the long arms in the future if you choose to do so. Altogether, with everything that you're getting from this kit for only $4,000, which granted is still a pretty big chunk of money, but for that money, I don't think there's another kit for a JLU out there that can beat what this kit has to offer for the price. And it even comes with quick disconnects, so you don't even have to go out and purchase those separately either. All right, so we have our set of 5 37-inch Mickeys getting held on by our 17-inch Rebound Pros, equaling $4,200 plus our Rockcrawler 3.5-inch suspension for $4,000. So we're already up to $8,200, which it could be a lot more than that, but it could also be a lot less than that. Remember though, we want the highest performance possible with running some of the best price products out there. Not highest price, not lowest price, but best price. Bang for the buck per se. Even though we're already at $8,200, we do need just a few more things to get this Jeep to the point where it's going to be a very well-built Jeep to go hit the trails with. We can always keep upgrading along the way after some of this hypothetical credit card debt is brought down a ways. Being at this point in the build, we have a very capable Jeep, but even so, getting stuck or getting someone else unstuck is inevitable. So next we're gonna need front and rear recovery bumpers and a winch. For the bumpers, this is another upgrade that isn't going to be cheap, but they're also not going to be the most expensive bumpers on the market for JLs either. Plus, they're made with true 3/16-inch steel, and that's why we're choosing to go with the Icon Impact Armor, their Pro series of bumpers. The front, which we chose the recessed winch bumper with winch protection bar and recessed light mounts for $1,000. For the winch, we chose Warn's VR Evo 10,000-pound winch with synthetic cable. The rear bumper is Icon's Pro Series 2 with hitch and recessed reverse light mounts for $750, which a total of $1,750 for heavy-duty recovery bumpers and $900 for a proven Warn winch really isn't that bad of a deal. Heck, some companies charge more than that just for a front recovery bumper. Plus, you know what you're getting, and you know you're getting high quality parts from Icon that aren't gonna let you down. And since we're speaking of Icon, we also decided, after much consideration, to go with their body mounted spare tire carrier that sells for $1,000. The reason we're going with the Icon Impact body mounted spare tire carrier is that it alleviates stress by placing the load of the spare tire's weight almost exclusively on the reinforced rear corner section of the Jeep's body, where the tailgate attaches rather than on the tailgate itself. The tire carrier is further strengthened by a thick steel reinforcement plate that ties the upper and lower hinge together while clamping them securely to the heavy gauge structural steel of the Jeep's inner body tub. The tailgate and the tire carrier open and close independently, which is really nice, but are tethered together with a hind joint linkage so that accessing the Jeep's rear cargo area is still a single action process. Simply open the tailgate and the tire carrier opens with it. A Delrin alignment bushing keeps the tire carrier lightly seated for when closed to keep it rattle free, and I've personally witnessed how much abuse these Icon spare tire carriers are able to hold up to in real world situations, and they are extremely impressive and well built and definitely worth the $1,000. Another pretty important item to protect the underside of our Jeep is going with a set of high quality Barnes 4-wheel drive rocker panel guards, also known as rock sliders. For $800, these rock sliders not only look great, but will protect your rockers from getting beat to a pulp, literally saving you thousands of dollars worth of body damage. All right, so where are we at? We have the 37s, the lightweight beadlock wheels, a high performance 3.5-inch lift, front and rear recovery bumpers, a nice heavy duty spare tire carrier, a Warn 10,000-pound winch, and solid rocker protection. All for a grand total of, not including the taxes and costs of the Wrangler itself, $12,600. Now, throw in $300 to $500 of safety and recovery gear, a high lift jack or a Pro Eagle off-road floor jack, and now we have one hell of a sweet Jeep setup to get us out and tackling just about any trail or obstacle we can think of, and come the work week, drive our Jeep to and from work like a pavement princess. I hate to use that word, but it's gonna drive really nice on the road. And guys, this is all just hypothetically speaking of how we would build a practical Jeep Wrangler within reason of keeping the costs in check. But if the budget was just a little bit bigger, we would keep going with installing some Yukon 513 gears along with the Eaton's new electronic lockers for JLs. And since we're in the axles, throw in some RCV axle shafts right away. But not only that, I'd throw on some Baja Designs LED ambers on the Icon front bumper, along with some Black Label LED rock lights to keep the visibility going even when the sun goes down. And those were just a few additional add-ons, but the possibilities are definitely endless when building a four-wheel drive vehicle to your own unique geographical areas and your own individual personalities as well. In fact, it would be really great to hear from all of you guys as to how you would build an off-road rig and out of what vehicle. Would you pick a Jeep like we did, or what vehicle would it be if it wasn't a Jeep? Either way, it would be great to hear what you guys would build for the perfect on and off-road rig by letting us know in the comments below. Or even if you guys wanted to learn more about the products we decided to go with our hypothetical Jeep build, make sure and check out the links in the description below. Remember guys, wheels, tires, suspension, and accessories for your four-wheel drive vehicle, that they can all be found right on our website at TrailBuilt Off-Road. And guys, as always, we appreciate all of you for watching and all of your support. I'm Josh from TrailBuilt, and we'll see you guys out on the trails.